Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream as the new variant of COVID hits the Premier League pretty badly in the last couple of days. Many games this week have already been cancelled. But for tonight, the show must go on for both home side Liverpool and the visiting Newcastle that travel to Anfield looking for what would be their only second win in this entire new season. Both of them would be coming under new manager Eddie Howe. For Liverpool, a win is needed to keep up with the pace with the current leaders, Manchester City, who extended their lead to 4 points and boosted their goal difference also by 7 with the demolition of Leeds United. Newcastle only made one signing in the summer, which was the £25 million signing of Joe Willock, but there is a new feeling of investment now with the takeover complete a couple months ago, where they'll be spending big in January to try and keep afloat in the Premier League, not wanting to drop to the second tier of English football for the first time since the 2015-2016 season. Despite all the worries of the league being halted and an inquiry if a winter break could be a good addition to the Premier League, Liverpool take on Newcastle in an important fixture for both teams to get some needed points on the table. Hello and welcome. Thursday night Premier League game. Pretty obvious favourites, you could say. Liverpool do take on a struggling Newcastle still, despite their new manager, Eddie Howe. You kind of expect a bit of a manager rebound, but struggling a little bit. They've got some tough fixtures going up. Just had Leicester away on Sunday, got battered 4-0. They've now got Liverpool away tonight, and then they've got Manchester City at home on Sunday, followed by Manchester United also at home as well the week after. So Eddie Howe has got his work cut out, that is for sure. But yeah, I'm hoping for some goals tonight. If they're going to be going to any one of the teams, it'll probably more than likely be Liverpool. We've got a 5-0 or maybe more prediction there. So we're expecting goals probably more for the side of Liverpool, that is for sure. Newcastle can try and put up a fight, but after getting demolished themselves 4-0 on Sunday, travelling to Anfield is a lot harder than travelling to Leicester. So could be a big scoreline. Let's make the score a little bit bigger there as well. We are just under 8 minutes away from kick-off. Before the game, Liverpool did have 3 not confirmed, they are suspected COVID positive tests of Virgil van Dijk, Fabinho and Curtis Jones. So 2 of those players definitely would have been starting today. Curtis Jones is just returning from an injury, so he may or may not have been involved depending on his status of the injury. But Van Dijk probably would have definitely started, and also Fabinho as well, because he's a big part of that midfield to lock the midfield and the defence together to make sure they are resolute. So that'd be a big miss. It is only Newcastle, so it might not be the biggest misses, but still, nevertheless, you don't want 2 of your key players out. But Konate comes in, huge French centre-back signed from Leipzig in the summer. He comes in, he's been absolutely fantastic when he's played, especially in that 5-0 win that they got at Old Trafford a couple of months ago. He played alongside Van Dijk that night, Konate, and he played really well alongside the Dutchman, and also as well Oxlade-Chamberlain drops into centre mid after starting in a false 9 role at the weekend. He drops back into central midfield to replace Fabinho, who's got COVID, and then Diogo Jota comes in off the bench to start up front for Liverpool. So a couple of changes having to be made for Liverpool, and also Newcastle made a few changes as well, which I'll go through in a second. Does look like a pretty packed Anfield tonight. We do have another game on as well that has been able to go ahead tonight, and that is Chelsea versus Everton. So I will let you know score updates on that. It's currently 0-0. I think they would have been playing for about 10 minutes, so still 0-0. Obviously, Everton have their own crisis, not even COVID, it's just injuries in general that they're struggling with. So if they can get a result from Stamford Bridge tonight, that will be very, very impressive. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, score updates on that one as they come. But I'll go through the teams now. So for Liverpool, we've got Alisson in goal, already making his 22nd appearance in all competitions for this season. Trent Alexander-Arnold starts at right back. He won Player of the Month for November. Two centre-backs, as I mentioned before, is Joel Matip, the man from Cameroon, and Ibrahima Konate comes in to get his 8th appearance and his 8th start of this season. Left back is forever present, it seems, Andy Robertson. 3 assists for him in his last 4 Premier League matches. The midfield will consist of Jordan Henderson, who's been out of the squad. He's been out of the squad for only 3 times this season, showing how important he is to this Liverpool squad. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is dropped from the false 9 role he played at the weekend to central midfield, and the Spaniard Thiago also plays in midfield. And the front three is becoming like the resolute front three now for Liverpool. Firmino seems to be lacking out of favour. It's going to be Mo Salah on the right, Sadio Mane on the left, and Diogo Jota will play through the middle. Got 9 goals this season, 8 of them in the Premier League. So if he scores tonight, that'll be double figures for him already for this season and in a whole. And then on the bench, they've got Marcelo Pitaluga, the 6'2" Brazilian 18-year-old goalkeeper who's had to fill in on the bench, obviously due to the COVID cases they've had to fill in the bench. So he comes in. So 2 keepers on the bench, and the other one is Caoimhín Kelleher, the Irish international. He's already got 2 appearances this season, one of them coming in the Premier League when he played against Watford away. Nico Williams, Joe Gomez and Konstantinos Tsimikas come in as the defensive options. James Milner and Naby Keita are the 2 midfield options, both of them playing a big part this season. Unfortunately for Naby Keita, a few injuries, but he's had some good performances so far and a pretty good goal he scored this season against, I think it was against Southampton, I'm pretty sure. Left-footed volley. Or was it Palace? I think it was Crystal Palace where he scored that volley, Naby Keita. Takumi Minamino gets a place on the bench, the Japanese, and then Roberto Firmino. So far this season, he's got 4 Premier League goals in 8 appearances, so not bad record, 1 every 2 games, but he will be on the bench for today's game. And then for Newcastle, Martin Dubravka, the Slovene, I think that's Slovakian, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Slovakian goalkeeper comes in. He has got 4 appearances this season, and they've been in the last 4 due to him returning from injury. He was the first 9 games of the season due to a foot injury. Javier Manquillo, the former Sunderland player, plays at right back and formerly of Liverpool as well, was there on loan during the 2014-2015 season. Jamal Lascelles and Fabian Schär starts at the back again, with Jamal Lewis at left back, his 5th Premier League appearance of the season, 4 of them coming now under the new manager Eddie Howe. Change in midfield, Jacob Murphy comes in and replaces Miguel Almiron, who's on the bench. Isaac Hayden plays in central midfield, who replaces Joe Willock. He'll play alongside John Joe Shelby, and also Ryan Fraser comes in to replace Callum Wilson, the main goal scorer, who's been put on the bench. And Alan St-Maximin will move from the left wing up front to play alongside the 6'1" Brazilian Joe Linton, who's got the 1 goal in 15 Premier League appearances this season. That was scored in a 3-3 home draw against Brentford. So he needs to try and get some more goals if Newcastle want to stay up this season. And on the bench, they've got Carl Darlow, Kieran Clark, who's returning back from a red card suspension. Matt Ritchie's on the bench with Joe Willock, Jeff Hendrick, Sean Longstaff, Miguel Almiron, Dwight Gale, and Callum Wilson. So some strength on the bench for Newcastle. In retrospect to the squad they've got, it's a pretty strong bench. Done some rotating from the Leicester game to maybe bring in some more legs, more energy, trying to contain this Liverpool squad, who will definitely fancy their chances at home against Newcastle tonight. Just going to get the timer ready for the start of this game. Eddie Howe's ready, Jurgen Klopp's ready, as we are very soon to kick off here at Anfield. Still 0-0 between Chelsea and Everton as we are ready to get underway here. We've got two Liverpool 3-0s as Mike Dean blows the whistle. All sets of players and staff take the knee as it will be Newcastle kicking from left to right, Liverpool right to left. We do kick off with Newcastle sending a diagonal ball towards the left-hand side. Joe Linton can't win the header on Joel Matip. Oxlade-Chamberlain helps it down the line. Big strong header by Lascelles, picked up by Joe Linton in the Liverpool half. It's now St-Maximin. He's found himself on his natural left side. Turns Oxlade-Chamberlain. He's going to have a few nibbles at him, the English midfielder, and does intercept the Frenchman's pass in towards Hayden. So a positive start so far for Newcastle, getting into the Liverpool half and winning the throw-in. Jamal Lewis with the throw-in. Gets into Hayden, tries to play it back into the Northern Irish left back, but it's played a little bit too far behind him. And they'll go out for a Liverpool throw-in this time. It's taken by Trent, thrown into the 18-yard box where Konate's all free on his own and will have all the time in the world to bring it out at the back for Liverpool. Play it forward to Thiago, who's dropped slightly deeper for the ball. Looks like it could be a 4-2-3-1 actually for Liverpool tonight. Having Henderson and Thiago in those two holding midfield roles, and then Chamberlain a little bit more advanced. Mane goes back to Thiago in a left back area, and then finds the Brazilian Alisson. Like I said, only missed one Premier League game so far this season. That was the 5-0 away win at Watford. I'll get the timer started as soon as it comes up on screen, and there we go. As I say it. There we go. You can see that, can't you? Salah on the edge of the box, plays it into Trent, who's got forward, back into Salah. Henderson lifts it over to Trent, who volleys across in. It's looping over towards the far post, where it'll be Mane to give chase. Just about keeps it in, with a pass towards Robertson, a little bit too short, picked up by Jacob Murphy, who plays it behind, and Javi Manquillo, and Jota gets in behind on the left. Good strong recovering challenge from Murphy, who gets a clearance away, deflects off Robertson, and a throw, and it'll be for Newcastle as they survive. That was very close to a mistake there. Murphy just dawdling on the ball and then playing it behind the advancing right back of Manquillo, which I don't know why he's advancing so far when he's in his own half. It's not like an attack can really be started from there. So Newcastle do get away with a little early scare, and it'll be Manquillo to take the throw-in. Not much movement for him here, so throw it long down the line into the Liverpool half, flicked on by Murphy. It'll fall to Konate. Bit of head tennis going on, and Henderson gets it on the ground. And it plays it to Robertson. To the centre half, Joel Matip. Not really being pressed by Alan St. Maximin. It's Robertson in the Liverpool half. Over to Konate. He's had to be patient for his chance this season. In all competitions, he's been on the bench 17 times. But when Matip's in such good form and you can't really replace Van Dijk, it's been hard for him to get a chance in the squad, but he's got one tonight. Matip brings it forward and works it out wide to Mo Salah. Outside of the boot ball, looking on the edge of the box for Jota, cut out by Lascelles. Headed the wrong way by Joe Linton, and Salah could pick it up. As Fraser's intended target's not there. One way and then the other for Salah, trying to get beyond Jamal Lewis. Being clattered to the ground fairly, says Mike Dean, the referee tonight. And Newcastle try and get out. They struggle. They're tackled. Salah tries to pick it up. Can be cleared again by Lascelles in the Newcastle box. Fraser can't quite head it on. Not really surprised. Scotsman at the height of 5'4". Does fall to Joe Linton in the end. In the midfield area for Newcastle. He's spending a lot of time trying to look for a pass. Gets it out of his feet. And his pass is poor and it falls to Konate. He lifts the ball towards Mane. Poor touch away from him. And Manquillo can pick it up, the former Liverpool man, and poke it out of play for a Liverpool throw-in. Panicking a little bit there, the Spaniard. Henderson. Across on the halfway goes to Joel Matip. Yet to score this season. Does like to go in his advancing, amazing runs. Matip from centre-back. He thought about it that time, but decided against the matter. Mane touches it into Robertson. Back to Thiago. Across to Henderson. Trent. Henderson. Back to Matip. Setting out the stall for the game tonight, Liverpool. Trent looks for a ball over the top to his full-back partner, Robertson. Cut out on the edge of the box, and Shelby now has it and looks for a lifted ball over the top. In behind for St. Maximin, who tries to bring it down with the chest. Too far away from him, and Trent can pick it up in a central area and bring it forward to Chamberlain out wide right. Works it to Salah. Spread in the pitch, enters the box, cuts in onto his left foot, tries to get back onto his right, tackled by the defending Joe Linton, who's made his way back. He's able to clear with the left foot, but it's only going to be recycled in the end for Liverpool to restart an attack. Thiago finds a nice little gap into Salah, who's again pushed out wide, cuts inside on his left foot, chops it down the line for Jota, who spins and shoots. Good save down low to Dubravka's left. And then Newcastle clear it for a throw-in, but Liverpool coming very close. Nearly 6 minutes in. What a nice little back heel that was from Salah in towards Jota, who got the touch, spun, left-footed, towards the near post. Really good reactions that from Martin Dubravka. But it's not over yet as Liverpool continue with Alexander Arnold at right back. Canate to Thiago. We know he can find a pass. He's looking again for that right-hand side, and he will find the Egyptian, Mohamed Salah. Tries to cut onto his left foot again, but he lays it off to Trent, who shifts it onto his left foot, lifts it into the box to Thiago, nodded down to Chamberlain on the edge, to Robertson, takes a touch, and then lifts it himself to Thiago, brings it down, can't quite find Salah on the right again, and there's an attack on here for Liverpool. Fraser looking for the speedy St. Maximin. He will pick it up on the left, one-on-one with Canate, chops in onto his right foot, then plays it to the overlapping Fraser, who works across into the box, not near a player in light blue, but then it falls to Shelvey on the edge. Oh, what a goal! The former Liverpool player, John Joe Shelvey, comes back to haunt Liverpool. That has come from absolutely nothing. What a goal from John Joe Shelvey. We know he can score, and we know he can hit them, John Joe Shelvey. He's been a big part of Eddie Howe's plans since he's come in. He's played at least 85 minutes or more in every game that Eddie Howe took charge for for Newcastle. And for this one against Liverpool, he's come up with his first goal of the season. What a run from St. Maximin on the left, chopping inside, then playing it back out to Fraser. Poor cross in the end, and really not well dealt with by Thiago. Poor clearance, couldn't get out to block the shot. And from around 20 yards out, Shelvey's wrapped his right foot around it, curls it into the side netting in the bottom left corner. What a finish. Very much deserved in terms of the finish itself. That's an unbelievable hit. Eddie Howe will be absolutely delighted. And like I said, against his former club, John Joe Shelvey has scored a terrific goal. Liverpool 0, Newcastle 1. What a goal. John Joe Shelvey, take a bow. That's what I'll say. What a goal. And they picked it up again here, St. Maximin. Pickpocketed in the end by Thiago in midfield, who was at fault for that goal. Couldn't get the clearance away from the really underwhelming Fraser cross that came into the box. When Shelvey took it upon himself to hit one from range and left Alisson stuck. Unmoved was Alisson. He shifted one way, realised the ball was going the other, and he could not adjust himself to even attempt to save it. Don't think it'll change the flow of the game. I think it'll still be bombarding Liverpool attacks. So that puts a little bit of a spanner in the works. Not really written in the intended script that we all thought was going to happen. As Thiago plays it into Mane, who holds it up on the edge, tries to shift to make some room for himself. Good tackle from Fabian Schär. Now it's Ryan Fraser on the edge. Works a left-footed clearance away, looking for Jamal Lewis down the line. Can't find the Northern Irish international. And there's an attack on the space down on the right with a missing left-back for Newcastle. Salah playing it through towards Mane. Gets it off the post and deflects into the keeper's arms. I think Mane was offside, about 6 yards out. Worked the shot onto the post, into the keeper's hands. The flag goes up. I think he was off. I think Newcastle just pushed up. Yes, they did. Manquillo, the latest one to push, nearly leading the Senegalese onside, but just about got out. And 6 yards out, hits the post. Even though it wouldn't have counted anyway, Mane should have really been scoring from there. But just under 10 minutes in, it does remain Newcastle 1-0 up at Anfield. Liverpool have not lost a game at Anfield in the Premier League since the 23rd of April 2017. Over 4 years now. That was against Crystal Palace in a 3-2 loss. Trent, left-footed, curling ball to Salah, chests it down. It's beautiful football. Running at Jamal Lewis again. Can't find his way inside. He's surrounded by light blue shirts that Newcastle are wearing tonight. Their away strip. Joe Linton on the edge of the box works his way out. Tries the clearance. Doesn't find a Newcastle shirt. And Liverpool restarts again with Henderson. Out wide to Trent, who's pushing up the field. Oxlade Chamberlain, formerly of Arsenal and Southampton's academy. Stayed there for 11 years at Southampton. Alex Oxlade Chamberlain. And he's never lost against Newcastle. He's played them 10 times. He's won 9 times and he's drew once. Thiago. Monitoring the left-hand side, the Spaniard. They'll try it down the right, though, as they move it towards Matip. Cool ball in to Jota. Flicks it through to Mane. Well covered by Manquillo, and he can clear himself. And sustained pressure is going to continue as the clearance only falls as far as Matip. It was a good initial ball there from Matip to get it forward. Nice, clever flick, but he wasn't quite able to get to Mane as a covering Manquillo from right back cleared. They'll definitely gain confidence, though, Newcastle, from the goal. It's just if they can sustain this defending and mental game that they're going to have against Liverpool, having to put up with constant defending. Thiago spins Hayden really well, looks for a ball through. Jota didn't quite make the run to match Thiago's pass, and it falls into the hands of Dubravka in the end. Oh, don't worry about it. If anyone don't, little things like that I can deal with it. Honestly, it's fine. It's what it is. But no, that's fine, mate. Don't worry. Dubravka sends it towards the right hand side. Header won very nicely by Robertson, but it'll fall to Fabian Schär. Pass through to John Joe Shelvey in the halfway. Looks for a ball through. Finds St. Maximum, who is on side, and plays it over to the left towards Joe Linton. Another attack's on here for Newcastle. Ryan Fraser's got the overlap with the left back. He'll try and find him. Trent will see it out though for a goal kick. Oh, and the left back Jamal Lewis has gone down. Not what you want to see, holding the right hamstring, and it could be the Northern Irish Internationals game over. Tried to make an advancing overlapping run on Fraser, and as he's going to run for it, realised he probably couldn't get there, but he couldn't get there if he wanted to anyway because he's pulled up with a hamstring injury. Not sure if that was a slight worry before the game, but it certainly is now. Not really got much defensively, but they've just about scraped two defenders in for tonight's game. Matt Ritchie is a left back, used to be a more advanced winger, but he's now later on in his career became a left back, so he can fill in, like for like. But in terms of another defender, they've got Kieran Clark centre back, and that's it. So very light at the back for Newcastle, but that John Joe Shelvey goal is something to admire. Beautiful finish. Liverpool probably should have blocked the shot if possible, but Alisson will not be getting his 12 clean sheet of the season. Not picked up Golden Glove, Alisson, since the 2018-2019 season when they finished second behind Manchester City on 97 points. But John Joe Shelvey with an absolute worldie of a goal. He did make 69 appearances for Liverpool in his 3-year stay, winning one League Cup. And it's his first goal against Liverpool since he bagged two in the 2013-2014 season for Swansea. So he has got experiences against scoring against his former club. But this time I think it just tastes a little bit sweeter. Being a little bit under the radar at Newcastle last year or so. Having injuries, red cards. But looks like Eddie Howe's putting faith into the English midfielder now at the age of 29. And like I said, he's been pretty persistent in Eddie Howe's lineup since he's come to Newcastle. As we are back underway, does look like Jamal Lewis will be coming off, so Ryan Fraser, the left midfielder, is going to be covering at left back while the change can be made for Matt Ritchie to come on. Matip. Across it goes to Thiago on the left, 25 yards away from goal. Tries to take on Jacob Murphy, plays it across to Henderson on the edge, then once more looking for Trent, picked up by the makeshift left back of Fraser. Poor ball out, recycled by Matip to Trent. He gets the ball in the end, and here is Henderson. Sees a ball on, a switch towards Robertson, who then nods it down towards Mane. Cuts out. Newcastle needs clear. Jacob Murphy in the right back area gets tripped by Andy Robertson, and that'll be a free kick for Newcastle on the right channel. And it will be Matt Ritchie to come on. Has worked under Eddie Howe before. This will be his 145th appearance under Eddie Howe for Matt Ritchie as Jamal Lewis makes his way down the tunnel to get treatment for that hamstring. It's the right hamstring it was that pulled up. Under 15 minutes in, Newcastle take the lead and have had to make a defensive change already due to injury. But Eddie Howe will be delighted so far as Henderson looks to volley one towards Salah in behind. What a ball! He gets it in the final third. Just about enters the box now on the byline. He's going to look for an outside of the boot cross. Blocked off by Ritchie. His first involvement in the game since just coming on as a substitute. And he concedes a corner. Defended Salah well, but what a volleyed ball through by Henderson. The technique is unbelievable. You'd like to watch that one over and over again from the Liverpool captain. Salah chased it, got on the end of it, entered the box. Looks for another outside of the boot ball in the box. It just looks like Salah doesn't have a right foot. He always has to use the outside of his left to work a pass when he's on a different angle to where he can't really use his left on the inside. They've got a corner and they will be dangerous from these because they've got a lot of height here. Whipped in by Trent all the way to an unmarked Canate. Well, 12 yards out there with the header, unmarked. Didn't quite get the neck movement to make the ball go towards goal. Probably should have done better there, Canate. Unmarked. Was quite far out. Would have took quite the header to get past Dubravka, but at least try and get it on target. But I don't think Newcastle will, take their lead for granted. They know that in one attack they can lose that lead. The goal kick's been taken, header won in the midfield by Thiago. So it was Fabian Sherry, then volleys it away left-footed. We chased down by Alan St. Maximin. Alisson's come for it. Can't use his hands because that's on the edge of the box. Mike Dean whistles for an offside on Alan St. Maximin. That was awkward for Alisson. Couldn't quite use his hand because he was kind of on the brink of leaving his box, but then also, if he left the ball for long enough, he could have been in the box. It was an awkward one for him to judge. But I think St. Maximin was just offside as the sharp clearance was put over the top. And Liverpool once again are back in possession. A beautiful ball over the top, looking for Mane. Tries to chest it down in the box. Well defended by Manquillo as he sends him out wide towards the corner flag. He's now one-on-one with him and pokes it out there for a throw-in for Liverpool. Good defending from Javier Manquillo. Liverpool are on the back now of 7 wins in a row in all competitions, 5 of them in the Premier League. And they've won all their games since their only Premier League loss of the season so far, which came against West Ham away. So on a very good vein of form, Liverpool, as Matip looks to get it forward. Sends it out wide to Salah, brings the bouncing pass down and just flicks it behind him to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Cross to Canate. And Thiago. Henderson again. Tries to poke it forward and the ball's too advanced for Salah to get on the end of. It'll be a goal kick for Newcastle as they do survive another minute here at Anfield. A place that they don't win at very often. Only win for them away at Anfield was back in 1994. 2-0 win. Rob Lee with the goals and Andy Cole as well. Kevin Keegan was manager at Newcastle at the time. A few years later, after 1994, Newcastle went back-to-back seasons in the Premier League. Runners-up in second place. That was in 1995-96 and then the 1996-97 season as Jota breaks away here on the edge of the box. Enters the box, looks for the near post strike with the left foot. Gets a few gestures from the Newcastle fans as his shot arrows wide. From the goal kick, though, from Newcastle, Canate heads forward. Wasn't dealt with by Shah. Fell to the feet of Jota, who ran forward for about 20 yards. Then when he entered the box, looked to get a shot away at the near post. I think it skimmed the side netting. Don't think it was ever really troubling Dubravka there. I think he had it covered. And Newcastle, again, just have to be careful with those goal kicks. Don't want to be conceding from their own set pieces. Here comes another one. Not won by St. Maximin, but it'll go all the way through to Alisson as Canate lets it roll to the Brazilian. And they restart again in their own half with Matip driving forward, not being pressed at yet. They'll go across to Ibrahima Canate, left France. For Leipzig in 2017, Canate on a free. And that's where he made his name in Germany at RB Leipzig before making his move to Liverpool in the summer. Definitely one for the future. The French centre-back, age 22. And here's Matip again, loves to get forward and find passes like that. And actually, Chamberlain lets it go through. And Jota gets on the end of it. Hayden with the poor touch. Thiago tries to get onto it. And then Henderson with a volley. That goes all the way over for a corner kick as it was deflected. Liverpool still putting the pressure on Matip. Did find the ball through. He's done that many times, finding those gaps in between the lines towards Chamberlain, who let it run through. And Jota was able to get on the end of it, pull it back. Hayden struggled clearing it. But in the end, it results in a Liverpool corner, which is an outswinger from Robertson. Great ball in. Canate can't win the header. And it will fall to Trent as there's 2 Newcastle players down in the box here. Still one in the box holding his head. And Jota, oh, what a save from Dubravka. The rebound's in. Oh, and the goal will stand. I am confused. There was a collision in the box with Canate. I want to say Joe Linton and Hayden. Hayden's come out with a little bit of a head injury. It did look like all three of them did just kind of go in for it, and I wouldn't be surprised if he is actually injured. Let's have a look here. Yeah, three of them going for it. Lascelles even as well got involved. There's three Newcastle players going for the header. Two of them was down. I don't know why Mike Dean hasn't stopped play. Hayden's down holding his head for the entire time. Cross was put in by Mane towards the back post where Jota headed. Good save from Dubravka. Then the rebound was put in by Jota from about 3 or 4 yards out. Liverpool continue not really realising there's a man down with his head. Great save from Dubravka. Unlucky that the rebound was put in. But that goal for me just doesn't quite sit right. I feel like it was a genuine head injury, and I don't know how Mike Dean's not seen that. I'll be surprised. I don't know if they can overturn it or change it, but that goal should not have really stood. And if it does stand, I am going to be baffled, because Mike Dean should stop play. Because like I said, three Newcastle players went for the ball and a Liverpool player, and they all kind of just went in at once. I don't know if it's arrogance from Mike Dean to not disallow the goal, or from VAR, because they do like to help each other out, referees. But to me, that just seems like the play should have been stopped. If I'm Eddie Howe, I'm annoyed myself. I'm actually just keeping it. I'm annoyed myself. I'm not even a Newcastle fan. I'm not a Liverpool fan. But I think the goal's going to stand. Jota scores. Let's have a look. You can't really... Hayden's like sandwiched. He's like right in the middle of it. I think you need to see a closer up angle. Jota, great save, Dubravka. So unlucky. Can only parry it back out to Jota. The goal does stand. They were back on the way. Looking at a replay, it doesn't look like Hayden should have gone down holding his head, because it doesn't look like there was any collision with his head. But as Maximum picks it up, Thiago's giving it away, playing it across. He could restore Newcastle's lead. On the edge, shoots. Oh, good strong right hand from Alisson. Keeps it at 1-1. Newcastle could have restored their lead. Thiago again would have been at fault. Poor clearance for the first goal where Shelvey could shoot. And again, giving it away, just playing it too effortlessly across. And they can get set away here. Henderson playing it through to Chamberlain. Going to get a tackle there from Hayden and from Shelvey. And then cleared by Dubravka. Out towards Fraser, who will give chase. Matip's going to meet him. And he can seize the throw in there. Joel Matip covering that right back area. St. Maximin probably should have scored. Drilled it low towards the corner, but not far enough in the corner to make Alisson really work. But he did get down sharp to save it. But like I said, Eddie Howe will be frustrated with the goal given, because for me, yes, he might have tried to play for that Hayden after looking at many replays, because you can't really tell from a lot of them, because like you said, he was very much sandwiched in the middle of all of that. But then when you look at replays, it probably doesn't look like he might have tried to flag it. But then my thinking is, say if it was a genuine head injury, why has Mike Dean not put the health of the player in first and stopped the game like he should have? So probably right to not stop play, because I don't think he was injured with his head. I think he just tried to win a free kick or try and stop play. But then if he was genuinely injured, which Mike Dean I don't think would have known, then he should have stopped play. But anyway, the goal stands as always. John Shelby's played in. Mane, he's through. He pokes it towards goal. Salah with a rebound. And as quick as you like, Newcastle are behind. All from their own undoing there. Like Thiago just before giving it away for Newcastle for an attack. Newcastle have just gone, if you give us an attack, we'll just give you one as well. And this time it's the goal scorer, John Joe Shelby, playing it behind him into a blind avenue, where it was Sadio Mane to pick it up. Nearly got fouled in the box by Cher, but he's able to get away from him, Mane, and shoot. Again, another good save from Dubravka with the reaction. Did fall in the end, though, unfortunately for Newcastle, to Salah, who could finish it. What a poor pass from Shelby. Tried to play it back to his defence. Awful ball. Mane just got away from Cher, who definitely fouled him. Stayed on his feet, poked towards goal. Good save, Dubravka. Could only rebound it to the feet of the Egyptian king, Mohamed Salah. Blasted it at the near post, bottom right corner. And Mohamed Salah scores another goal. And like I say, quick as you like, it is Liverpool 2, Newcastle 1. How quick football can change. Wow. Crazy. Controversial first Liverpool goal, but then a Newcastle mistake for the second, and they're now behind at Anfield. But at least we're getting some goals here. No, don't like Spider-Man. Don't watch it. Probably one of the most awkward goals. Yeah, it just seemed a bit strange at the time that he didn't stop play, even though, like I said, Isaac Hayden probably was trying to just get play stopped to kind of relieve Newcastle pressure. It's Chamberlain gets a zip ball in, can't quite keep it under control. Newcastle can try and work it away on the edge of the box. As Jacob Murphy's been pushed down to the ground by Diogo Jota, the goal scorer of the first. It changed the scoreline, yeah, just on that. See if there's any scoring in Chelsea-Everton. Nope. 41 minutes played, still Chelsea 0, Everton 0. Obviously picked the right game, haven't I, here? Liverpool 2, Newcastle 1. The 2 Liverpool goals coming in the space of around 3 minutes, I would presume. Yeah, 4 minutes in the end, 21st minute and 25th. The only person who needs to score now is Sadio Mane, and that's the Liverpool front three all on the score sheet. Trent sees a gap in behind for Salah, cut out by Jamal Lascelles, who's been captain of Newcastle since 2016. He was made captain by Rafa Benitez. Jamal Lascelles. If you're new, please like and subscribe. That would be a massive help. Canate on the halfway line. He's given all the time in the world to find his options and see which one is the right one. And he plays it to his centre-back partner, Joel Matip. Born in Germany, Bochum. Joel Matip, but has Cameroonian citizenship, and that's who he plays for at an international level, as the ball's been lifted over to Robertson in the final third. Mane's here with support, surrounded by 3 Newcastle players, finds Robertson. Thiago comes in, offers his support. Sees a cross available. Jota tries to help it on, blocked off by the knees of Lascelles. Newcastle try and get away, but for some reason he's played it in the air instead of to the feet of St. Maximin, and it gets away from the Frenchman. And there's now Trent, looks for a ball over the top. Nice looking ball. Nodded down by Jota to Chamberlain, who's peeled to the right. Just about keeps it in before going out for a goal kick. It's up towards Thiago. Headed away by Newcastle. Only as far as Henderson on the edge. Not got many options. The Liverpool captain tries to get beyond Shelvey. Now at the corner flag on the left. Plays it back to Robertson. Poor cross from the Scotsman. And Manquillo can clear unconvincingly. It's back forward by Canate to Robertson. Shifts it onto his left foot. Looks for Henderson through on the left. Just a bit behind the captain. And it'll be a Newcastle goal kick. But just before that, Liverpool second, St. Maximin got played through by Thiago in the end and got into the box. And if his shot was just a little bit more towards the corner, I don't think Alisson would have had much to do in terms of making a save. And Salah with the rebound. 2 rebound goals for Liverpool after pretty impressive Dubravka saves. Share clears away. Shelvey turns into trouble, but he's been held back by Diogo Jota. Free kick for Newcastle inside their own half here, as they can try and push up a little bit into the Liverpool half. A very high line from Liverpool. About 20 yards into their own half is where their line is. It's going to be a clip ball in, looking to try and get it over the top if possible. Can't find the head of Lascelles, and it can be cleared scruffily away from Trent Alexander-Arnold, and it's a throw-in for Newcastle in the Liverpool half in the end. Substitute and the number 11, Matt Ritchie, with a throw-in. Coming on at left back. Shelvey runs out of pitch on the left as he played it back to his goalkeeper Dubravka. We played half an hour, and it is Liverpool 2, Newcastle 1. Early lead for Newcastle at the start of the game. 7th minute, John Joe Shelvey released a cracker from about 20 yards out to give Newcastle the lead after early Liverpool pressure, but that pressure from Liverpool didn't stop, and 2 goals in 4 minutes within the 20th minute and the 25th means Liverpool have demand in this game. They're the ones causing the issues, suppressing the issues, and scoring the goals in the end. We know Newcastle did get a goal, but it was just a moment of brilliance. Trent Alexander-Arnold, can he keep it in on the Liverpool right? He can, but he only backheels it as far as Joe Linton, helped on by Fraser. As far as the throw-in for Liverpool, which will be taken quickly by Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. He throws it quickly to Konate on the halfway line. Now out to Joel Matip. In the right back area. Still going forward. Lays it off into Trent. He then wants the restart with Konate. Furthest man back for Liverpool. Henderson to Thiago. First time ball around the corner to Mane. Turns, looks forward. Good turn here from the Senegalese. Former Southampton man. Matip into Henderson. Salah, first time ball. I can't quite find Mane. Just fall to Henderson, who then volleys from Jota. Over the bar. Decent technique there from the Portuguese man. Signed from Wolves last season, Diogo Jota. As it headed away by Sharp. Henderson then nodded down for Jota in the box, and then his volley did end up going over the bar in the end. Like I said, half decent technique from Diogo Jota, who has got the 8 Premier League goals this season, but he hasn't scored any in his last 2 games in the Premier League. Diogo Jota. Matt Ritchie heads away. Then out wide left by Thiago to Robertson. Misplaced ball. Fall to Shelvey, who was at fault for Liverpool's second. Lascelles forced back to Dubravka, who clears forward. Right on the halfway line, where Joe Linton has a free header and heads it on. Where Fraser will give chase against Alexander-Arnold, but it will be the right back to get there first and to play it to his goalkeeper. Konate. Liverpool looking for their 30th Premier League win against Newcastle. It'll be their 21st home victory in the Premier League against the Toons, and then their 9 away. Salah works a ball into the box towards Mane. Fantastically cut out by Fabian Schär. And Mane will want his goal, and he nearly got it through a beautiful pass from Salah. Well worked by Konate out wide. To Salah had a lot more room because Ritchie had slipped in the process. Got a crossing towards Mane, who I think was offside. But I think it'll be a corner anyway because it was cut out by Fabian Schär. Wasn't touched in the end by Mane. Robertson with an outswinger. Another good ball in a dangerous area, headed away. Only finds Chamberlain on the edge. He's able to chest it down and volley it himself right into the Newcastle fans to the left of the goal. And it remains Liverpool 2, Newcastle 1. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain tried it. 20th appearance of the season in all competitions, this one, and yet to score. Chamberlain. And he only got the one last year, and that was against Burnley. Goal kick was Joe Linton. Heads it on. Only finds Chamberlain, who sends the ball over the top to Salah, who's caught Ritchie out here. He's got the touch forward and the finish towards the goal, and wide it goes from Salah. You expect him to score like them chances. He was on his weaker right foot, but again, conceding chances from their own goal kicks here. Header won in the end by, I think it was Joe Linton, or it might have been Thiago out-jumped the 6'1" striker. Fell to Chamberlain, who played a delightful ball over the top, rightly waited for Salah to get his touch perfect, in front of his feet, bearing down on goal, and he'd fancy him from there, but his weak foot obviously wasn't strong enough to come out with the necessary finish to give Salah his second goal of the game and to get himself another Premier League brace. A few yards wide in the end by the Egyptian. He's got a remarkable 15 Premier League goals now this season. 22 in all competitions. But if Salah gets one more Premier League goal involvement, he'll break a record, I think. As Premier League goal involvement in consecutive games. He's now provided a goal and an assist in 15 consecutive Premier League games. So next game, if he provides another one, then I think he's broke that Vardy record. Henderson clips it towards Salah at the byline. Had to be headed behind by Matt Ritchie for a corner. Under 10 minutes to go until we find out added on time. Liverpool still constantly attacking the Newcastle goal. Half-time between Chelsea and Everton, and it remains 0-0. So good performance so far, I'm presuming, from Everton to keep Chelsea behind. Not to keep them level, should I say. Is Trent on the opposite side will put an outswinger of his own into the box. Got players to aim for, and one of them is Matip. Can't quite find the centre-half, headed away by Isaac Hayden in the Newcastle midfield. Chamberlain. Alexander-Arnold's in running behind. Fraser can head away, only find the right back, who then crosses onto the knees of Joe Linton, and Newcastle try and play out from the back. Shelvey, down the line to Fraser. Read the game really well there. Thiago looks for a ball inside, deflects to Isaac Hayden, and gets it out to Fraser. Back to Ritchie, and then once more to Martin Dubravka. First time clearance forced away. Does find Ryan Fraser, can't keep it within the pitch. And that's going to be a Liverpool throw-in to take. They're struggling to get out their own half here. Newcastle. Trent Alexander-Arnold looking for movement, wanting his team to make themselves available. Poor throw-in straight to Joe Linton. Down the line to St. Maximin. Keeps it in. Poked the ball away from him by Matip. Trent. Tackled by Joe Linton. And it'll be a throw-in for Liverpool just beyond the halfway line. But they'll throw it into the Liverpool half for Canate to start an attack of his own. Forward to Chamberlain. Out to Robertson. He's had to Henderson. About 56 yards away from goal. So they've got some work to do, Liverpool, if they want another attack at the Newcastle goal. Chamberlain. Out to Robertson. Chamberlain again. Getting closed down by the press of Isaac Hayden. Matip. He's been good at finding balls in between the lines tonight. It just goes across back to Henderson, who sees Robertson making a run in behind. Well cut out by Jacob Murphy, and then again cleared straight to Henderson. They're clearing the ball, Newcastle, but then it's only finding Liverpool players. Jota. Robertson. Furthest out wide left is Mane. Getting that pitch spread wide. And find Henderson inside. Switches on to Matip on the right. To try and wear down this Newcastle defence for a third time. Salah. Trent just about works it across to Henderson. Poor cross. Then cleared always far as Henderson's head, and then they keep it alive for Liverpool. Again, those clearances not good enough from Newcastle. Salah. In the box of Thiago. Tries a 1-2 with the Spaniard. Slide challenge, cutting it out by Ryan Fraser. It'll be a corner for Liverpool. Good attempted link up there by both Thiago and Mohamed Salah. Matip's up there, 6'5", Canate 6'4". Goes in towards the near post, easily dealt with by Joe Linton with a right-footed volley away. Trent just about keeps it in towards the halfway line. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Henderson's peeled left. And he goes back inside to Chamberlain. Bit of a slide challenge, but he works it away. Henderson. Jota. Henderson again. Salah keep making those runs. I think he'll be fed at one of them. He's gone it again. 1-2 with Alexander-Arnold. Great run from the Egyptian, but Joe Linton covers well and gets tripped by Mohamed Salah. And that will be a free kick for Newcastle. Just held him back there in the end as Joe Linton got in front of Mohamed Salah. Done some half-decent defensive work today. Joe Linton, not the first time he's been found at the back defending for his team. 5 minutes until added on time. Liverpool have completed the first half comeback. To date back to the last Newcastle Premier League victory against Liverpool, it was in the 2015-2016 season. 2-0 at St James's Park. Skirtle own goal and then a Wijnaldum 90th minute goal to seal the deal that day. Salah has it inside to Thiago. Once more across to Jota. Strong slide challenge to intercept by Isaac Hayden. It's now Murphy. Finds it through to Fraser. Manquillo's made an advancing run at right back, but it's been cut out by Robertson. And he plays back to keeper Alisson. Jota on the left. Free header. Can't direct it to a man in red. But then Mane recovers. Pickpocketing Isaac Hayden. Matip. Oh, nice back heel again back down the line by Salah for Arnold to get on the end of. Then inside to Chamberlain. Henderson. Robertson. Halfway line Konate. Joel Matip. Salah again. Spins. Tries a little bit of a skill to get beyond Joe Linton, but it doesn't work. Chamberlain. Trying to keep the game moving. Trying to get a third goal and get a 2-goal lead before half-time. Mane, sloppy, gives it to Hayden, but then he wins it back. Good tracking back from Mane, switches it to Trent. First time touch towards Salah, tries to head it back into his right back. Trent, cut out by Aaron Fraser, but Matip held it back in, headed away by Cher, all as far as Robertson on the left. He's got a lot of room. Just work a simple pass to Henderson. Thiago, ball in behind for Salah, just again too much on it, but not far away this time. Salah jumped for it and put his right leg out to try and bring it down. But he couldn't quite do so. Now his left foot he's trying to bring down. Or trying to bring up to bring the ball down. I think he was onside as well there, Salah, so if he could have brought that down, would have a very good chance. Joe Linton flicks on from the goal kick. Matip, though, gets on the end of it. Found his captain. Henderson, last season, it was decided this game in the 95th minute. An equaliser from Joe Willock at the time. So we could get late drama in the second half of this game if it does still stay like it is now, 2-1. Konate pass cut out. Newcastle ought to break. They fed it into St. Maximin. They've got men coming over here. Fraser making a run on the left. They've got Isaac Hayden on the right. St. Maximin's going to go on his own. Made the angle hard for himself, tries to pull it back. Henderson intercepts. Good chance for Newcastle wasted. St. Maximin just put the angle too tight for him to shoot and then had to pull it back. And then when he did, it was only a Liverpool shirt he could find. Robertson rolls down the left. Uses Mane. Ball found to Salah on the right. He's got the run of Chamberlain ahead of him. Shifts onto his left foot. Puts a cross in as it floats in the air. Headed away by Newcastle once. Mane will get on the end of it. Him versus Javier Manquillo. Again, a great skill from Mane. A cross from Robertson. Dealt with by Ryan Fraser. As they're going to try and get another break on here. Murphy. St. Maximin. Tackled through the back. But he wins the ball. So Mike Dean does have a problem with it. Henderson. Alexander Arnold works the cross. Mane can't be found. Cher with a left boot to clear it away. Trent, Alexander Arnold, Henderson. It's literally been a bit of a training game since Newcastle scored in the 7th minute. It's all about patience, these kind of games for Liverpool. Alexander Arnold, 1-2 with Salah, no, because Lascelles heads it out for a corner. Intercepts that attempted 1-2 there. Jamal Lascelles, one player of the year for Newcastle in the 17-18 season. He's been put under a lot of criticism this season for poor defensive appearances for Newcastle, and that's by his own fans as well. Alexander Arnold, that is a loopy ball towards Matip at the back post. Headed onwards, and it's headed. The header is put into the arms of Martin Dubravka. One clean sheet so far this season for him and for Newcastle in general. That came against Burnley in their only win of the season so far. As we've got 2 minutes of added on time at the end of this 45. Joe Linton heads on. As far as Arnold. Back to Joe Linton. Ball inside to Hayden. Back to Joe Linton, far left halfway line. Back to Lascelles. Once more across it goes to Fabian Cher, the centre-back. Dinks a ball over the top and in behind for Jacob Murphy to take in his stride, and he's onside here towards the corner flag on the right-hand side for Newcastle as they attack. Same Maximum doing a bit of showboating, bringing out his party tricks. Gets beyond Henderson, works a pull back. Ooh, Murphy brought down by Canate, nothing given. Poke back to the edge of the box here to share, cross, deflects over towards Salah, who can bring it away for Liverpool. Jota, both Salah and Jota was brought down. Jolinton brought down Salah. That'll be a free kick. That was the original one. Let's have a look here. It's actually Isaac Hayden who just got in front of Canate and was brought to the ground. Would be a soft one if given a penalty. I don't think there's much wrong with that. Just have to be careful though, Canate, that doesn't give a cheap penalty away. That's the last thing you want to do on his chance to impress Jurgen Klopp. Two minutes of added on time. We've got 10 seconds left. It's been defence versus attack training drill, it seems. And it's going to be Liverpool 2, Newcastle 1, coming up to half-time now. All outfield plays in the Liverpool half. Tries to play it forward. Henderson gets on a loose ball. And that's when Mike Dean blows for half-time at Anfield. Newcastle took a surprising lead. Shelby gave them the lead in the 7th minute, but the 6 minutes before that, it was all Liverpool. They caught them on the break. Newcastle got forward. St. Maximum holding it up, playing it through to the overlapping Fraser, who got a pull back towards Thiago in the box, who only cleared as far as Shelby. Took a touch, 20 yards out, wrapped his right foot with the ball into the bottom left corner to give Newcastle a shock lead. But then in a little bit of a controversial style, Jota got an equaliser in the 21st minute. Isaac Hayden stayed down after a collision in the box where he thought it was a head injury. Mike Dean didn't see it, didn't stop play, and Jota scored from a rebound of his own header that was brilliantly saved by Dubravka. And then 4 minutes later, it went from bad to worse as Shelby played it into a blind corridor behind him, putting his defence under pressure, where Mane slipped in ahead of Shah, got a shot away himself after nearly being brought down by the Swiss centre-back, saved by Dubravka, spilt it only as far as Salah, who was coming in from the right, who slammed it home with the left foot. And that does mean Liverpool have a 2-1 lead, and then since that Salah goal, they've not quite been able to score again, but it has been all Liverpool. The odd chance for Newcastle, big one at 1-1, where St. Maximum got onto a loose Thiago ball, but that was a save download to Alisson's right in the end. And from Newcastle, they've had 2 chances. They've scored one of them, and the one that they didn't score was probably the one they should have scored. So some Newcastle fans will think it should be 2-2. Some will think that first Liverpool goal shouldn't have stood because of how Isaac Hayden was down with a head injury and Mike Dean didn't stop play. But whatever we think should have happened, what happened has happened, and it is Liverpool 2, Newcastle 1 at Anfield at the half-time break. And it looks like Chelsea versus Everton is going to get underway for the second half as they kicked off 15 minutes earlier. So I'll just put that game on. So during the half-time break, we'll have a chat and I'll update you if anything happens at Stamford Bridge. So wait for the channel to turn over. Come on. There we go. Oh, there's a Chelsea player down here. Who is it? Ooh. Accidentally, Alex Iwobi just trods on Ziyech's ankle and bends it a little bit. That'll be a nasty one for the Moroccan. Yeah, he's hurt there, holding his ankle. Not purposefully done there by Alex Iwobi. The ball was there to be touched, and he's just gone to put his foot on the ball, and then the ball's taken away, and then Ziyech's ankle gets trodden on. So not a nice one to endure, as Thomas Tuchel will definitely want to win this game with a heavily rotated Everton team due to injury. Gone for a 5-4-1. They've got Branthwaite at the back. He's a young, I think, 19-year-old centre-back. They've got Sims up front as well, a youngster, not being able to fill out their bench. Only 8 named instead of 9. So it'll be very, very impressive from Rafa Benitez if he can get his team a result here away at Stamford Bridge, who need the points as well to keep up with City, who won yesterday, on Tuesday, against Leeds. And with Newcastle not being able to beat Liverpool here does mean Liverpool will go 1 point behind Manchester City, and I think they'll extend their gap with Chelsea to 4 points. It'd be 3 if it stays a draw with Everton for Chelsea. But it does look like for Newcastle it is a 4-5-1 with Joe Linton play it. I might as well wait just for. But it does look like Joe Linton is playing as a central midfielder, and they're playing a 4-5-1 with St. Maximum as the outlet up front. It does generally look like that. I've mentioned it many times. You would have heard Joe Linton playing his part defensively on the left-hand side, kind of filling in to help Fraser out and Shah and Matt Ritchie on that left-hand side. So, yeah. 2-1. I think it'll be a Liverpool win. I think they'll score a couple more, but Newcastle will definitely be half-kicking themselves in that half and having a lot of blame towards Mike Dean, who they probably would have thought should have stopped play before Jota's first goal, as there was Isaac Hayden down in the box with a head injury or suspected head injury after colliding with the likes of Lascelles and I think Canate as well for Liverpool. Yeah, I think some people are very confused. As there is a ban in Liverpool ends tonight saying never trust a Tory. Interesting. Well, we know the history that Liverpool and the Tories do have, so understandable to see that banner flying around Anfield. Mark Goldbridge just tweeted a Voldemort when Shelby scored. So the first time, though, they took the lead, Newcastle, at Liverpool, at Anfield. They took the lead, I want to say, in the 2019-2020 season, if I am not wrong. Am I wrong? I'm reading if I'm wrong. I don't think I've wrote it down. I think in the 2019-2020 season, or it might have been before that, it might have been 2018-2019 season, Jetro Willems, who was on loan, a Dutchman, to Newcastle, he put a great ball in, top corner. And it gave Newcastle an early lead. I want to say it might be similar to the time Shelby scored. I want to say. Was it 2019-2020 season? Yeah, it was. 2019-2020 season. He also scored in the 7th minute. And Salah scored in the 28th minute. He scored in the 25th today. But yeah, Jetro Willems in 2019. Yeah, I have it written down. I knew I had it written down. I just couldn't quite find it. That's why you had me looking over my shoulder. Yeah. 14th of September 2019. Willems in the 7th minute. A bit like Shelby. Put Newcastle 2-1 up. And then in the end, ended up losing that one 3-1. So we'll see if we get a repeat of that today. If Liverpool will go on and win this 3-1 as well. But yeah, Salah now scoring or assisting in 15 consecutive matches. If he does it in the next game for Liverpool, that breaks a record. I'm pretty sure Vardy has the record with 15 at the moment, so he's joint a record at least. So impressive. Scoring or assisting in 15 consecutive games. I have him on Fantasy Premier League, and I'm sure so many of us do as well. So I bet we'll be absolutely buzzing that he's got a goal contribution in 15 games on the trot. Not much going on in the Chelsea-Everton game as a corner goes in, dealt with by Everton. And it looks like they could get a break on here. Anthony Gordon bursting away on the left. They've got Decore up with him. Ooh, he shifts it nicely. Iwobi's got loads of room on the right. Finds him. The space opening here. Decore's through. Iwobi don't find him. Sims. Iwobi. John Joe Kenny with a strike over the bar. But Alex Iwobi showing how he's not quite got the vision there Gordon played it over towards Iwobi. Decore's made a run right through the centre. Oh, he's onside. How has he not seen him? Played Sims, who was running out of room on the right, and in the end it's a hopeful shot by John Joe Kenny that goes way over. But Alex Iwobi should have done so much better with that. That could have been a real chance. For Everton in a game that they will probably have little chances with Ellis Sims up front. I think that'll be his Premier League starting debut. We have so many games now with dates to be confirmed due to being postponed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 separate games needing to be rescheduled. Some of them because of the weather a few weeks ago, but a lot of them would be because of the new rapid COVID cases with this Omicron virus. That does seem pretty serious in terms of numbers, but in terms of actual, deadliness, it seems like it's pretty mild, which is good because a lot of people are getting it. It is proven that people are getting it. But, yeah. Said to not be that dangerous and quite mild, so, like I said, fantastic to see. That is hopefully not going to harm too many, but a lot of people are getting COVID in these last few days. It's been absolutely crazy. Obviously, I know I did say in my pre-match kind of like build-up, I should, not just because of COVID, but many European leagues have a Christmas break. And I know English fans may or may not be mixed with the opinion. I'm not too sure. But winter games in the English league is just more like, it seems like a tradition, if you know what I mean. It's like Boxing Day. England's known for the Boxing Day football. Every team plays 3 o'clock kickoffs nearly all round, especially like in the leagues below the Premier League. And it's what the English game's known for. Games over Christmas, loads of football that we can all enjoy during the festive time. But especially with COVID now, and especially with the amount of cases everyone's getting now, not saying to keep it, but maybe just for this year, should we just bring in a winter break just to relax football in general? Because obviously we know football, it goes 100 miles an hour all the time. But maybe while these cases are rapidly going up, what if we just shut the league down for 2 or 3 weeks, kind of let the clubs kind of like just recharge, get people just avoiding contact, and just kind of relax it, just take a deep breath in a way. Because a lot of football has been played over COVID, and then a new variant's come. It does seem pretty dangerous in terms of like spread, being able to spread very quickly. But I personally wouldn't be opposed if football just kind of said, look, we'll definitely come back after 3 weeks, but we just want to just settle things down, and we just want to try and avoid this curve that is currently going on, because so many games have been postponed, and we don't want anyone getting seriously ill. Because obviously people are saying this new Omicron virus, mild, which is great, but that doesn't mean, one certain person might not get it really bad. Someone might get it really bad and they're hurt, and we don't want that. So it's an interesting topic. But, like I said, the Bundesliga, Germany, they've got a winter break. Russia have a winter break as well. It's quite normal in quite a lot of European leagues to have a winter break and then come back in after the new year. But in England, it's just never been a thing, or I don't think it's ever even been discussed. But I just think it's an important topic, maybe to bring it in just for this season. I'm not saying to keep it forever, maybe just for this season. While COVID's about and this new variant is here, and it's pretty wild the way it's been spread in Great Britain. But yeah, we've got this football game at the minute. The last game I did before COVID, original COVID, where we locked down in March, the last game was a Liverpool commentary when they played at home to Atletico Madrid. So hopefully that's not a jinx that we lock down again and all that. But they do currently have a 2-1 lead against Newcastle. Please like and subscribe as well if you're not already. Like I said, if the football does continue and it does still go ahead, then commentaries will be coming through Christmas and New Year, just due to the fact that I'm off college and I'll be able to do my notes and get everything ready for the commentaries. So keep your eye out over Christmas and New Year if all the games do go ahead as planned, which they probably will, let's be honest. Like, it's a standard thing for the Prem to just not really stop football when they can help it. And Chelsea are probing at the Everton defence, but they're pretty resolute. And here's the youngster, Branthwaite, making a run through and getting cynically taken out by Jorginho. That will be a booking for the Italian, given by Michael Oliver. Yeah, what are the cases today? 77,000 yesterday. That is absolutely crazy. What's the deaths? Still pretty similar. Not like the deaths are going up. Well, they are slightly. It's 164 now. So I'm actually a slight curve in deaths, which wouldn't be great, obviously. Goes without saying. But this time last year, around January 2021, we were getting near 2,000 deaths, just under 2,000 deaths. So, not great times, but it's one of them. What can you do? But I'm just going to switch back over to Liverpool now, because the second half will be getting underway very shortly. Well, no score yet in the Everton game, where they travel to Chelsea. That's why I check fantasy as well. How am I doing? Because I don't think I've got many players missing out due to the COVID stuff. I've got Son missing and Amati missing, who's had to go in for this week because Cresswell's still injured, but he should be coming back for the next game. But I don't think West Ham's game's going on. I don't know. But Foden got me 12 points. Salah's currently got me 12. Rudiger and James will be getting me 6 each if they keep their clean sheets, so that'll be good as well. But we are about to get back underway. All set players out. It'll be Liverpool kicking from left to right towards the Kop, and then Newcastle kicking from right to left towards their home to their travelling fans. As Liverpool do kick off, no press from Newcastle. They try and play it forward to Henderson on the halfway, back towards Matip. Trent across to Canate, and we're back underway for the second half, where Liverpool will try and gain a more resilient lead, a more reliable lead that they'll probably be able to keep. One little mistake and, that could be Newcastle back in the game at 2-2. You never know. Nearly happened at 1-1 when Thiago gave it to St. Maximum and he broke through and nearly scored past Alisson Becker. Salah, Trent, Alexander-Arnold. Can't quite find the Egyptian again. And Lascelles clears down the left-hand side. Joe Linton will give chase. Matip gets there, plays back to his goalkeeper. Away from his box, St. Maximum will give chase. Alisson takes a touch and he clears it long and high up the pitch. Fabian Schär heads away into the Liverpool half. Joe Linton will challenge Henderson, but in Matip to get on the loose pieces, but then he gives away the ball himself. Ryan Fraser now got it from Joe Linton, plays just behind St. Maximum, who wanted it in the space in front of him. Ryan Fraser played it in the space behind him, and it falls all the way through to the Liverpool defender in the end as they clear all the way to the Newcastle keeper, Martin Dubravka. And Newcastle are back in possession for now. Joe Linton, Ritchie down the left to Ryan Fraser, just inside the Newcastle half, who works it away from Chamberlain and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Shelvey prods a ball high in the sky for St. Maximum to chase. Header won by Matip, helped on by Henderson, brought down by Ritchie, poked through to St. Maximum. He's able to turn, keep it away from the Liverpool midfielders, and work a ball out wide to Manquillo. Good play here from Newcastle early on in the half. Jacob Murphy gets an overlap, doesn't use it, works onto his right foot, tries to chip across him, blocked off by Marnie. Second bite of the cherry, lifted in towards the near post. Easy save in the end for Alisson Becker in the full black Liverpool goalkeeper jersey. But positive play from Newcastle. They won't get much of that in this game, especially at Anfield, but they've got forward a few times this game. Once they've scored, a couple of times they've got close. But if they can try and keep it at 2-1 and attempt to get away with counter-attacks like that, then they could have a chance. But you really, you're clutching at straws with that. But you never know. They took the lead, so they could always equalise, but it is a mammoth task for Eddie Howe. And the task he's got in general, the 44-year-old, used to be a central defender before becoming a manager. 2 stints at Burnley. Did pick up 3 Manager of the Month awards, though, during Burnley's time in the Premier League. One in March of 2017, and then January and October in 2018. Shows he can do it in this league, as Chamberlain's been shoved to the ground by Jamal Lascelles, and there'll be a corner. Asks for a penalty, but it was just a strong shove there by Lascelles. Don't think it was a penalty. Ball got played through. Yeah, just shoved into the ground. Corner, for sure. Don't think it's any more than that. Bit of a push, but Chamberlain goes down a bit easily. So Alexander Arnold take an outswinging corner. He's signalled what plan they're going to play out here. One right arm raised and then the left arm raised as well. And then crossed in. Header won by Joe Linton. Still not dealt with completely. St. Maximin can't get his head on it. Thiago nods it into Trent. Alexander Arnold volleys it backwards with his left foot, but it's out of play on the halfway. And Newcastle can push out here and get a throw-in. Trent just panics a little bit there and just tried to work his way back to his defence with his left foot, but it sliced out for a throw-in in the end. Matt Ritchie to take. Throws into Joe Linton on the halfway. Turns Chamberlain and gets away from Jota. Played through to Alan St. Maximin. You've got to remember, they have got firepower on the bench as well. Newcastle, as Matt Ritchie gets forward. Tries to play it through to Fraser, blocked off by Alexander Arnold, who then gets it and then plays it over to Robertson on the left. And then heads back to his goalkeeper. And Liverpool can restart from their goalkeeper. Yeah, like I said, they've got players they can bring on off the bench. Joe Willock can be a threat, despite not scoring a goal yet this season. Callum Wilson as well. Almiron's a very good player. I do like the Paraguayan. We've got Salah to deal with here. Lays it off to Henderson towards the edge of the box. Well intercepted by John Joe Shelby. Can they get a counter-attack? Ball high and over the top towards St. Maximin. Too much on it. Newcastle could push out. Is met by a round of applause though by Alan St. Maximin. The ball from Shelby just didn't quite come off. It was a tough ball to try and get off in the end. John Joe Shelby, the man who got the goal for Newcastle, but then gave away a goal for Liverpool, the second one. His pass back towards his defence was picked up by Mane. And then they scored from it in the end. His Jota drops a little bit deep on the left of the ball and he's running at the Newcastle defence. Tries to play it along the ground towards Salah on the opposite side, cut out by Ritchie. Tries to get a clearance himself. Oh, what a lovely outside of the boot ball to St. Maximin on the left. We know he's dangerous from here. He's going to run at the Liverpool defence. He's got confidence like that, the Frenchman. Chops back out. Tries to get beyond Canate, but you're not getting past that man mountain with his strength. St. Maximin not quite got the physical abilities to get beyond Canate there. Murphy plays a ball down the right. Isaac Hayden will give chase in the right back area in the Newcastle final third, but Canate deals with it as Isaac Hayden just falls over Canate's leg and then falls on the back of his leg, unfortunately. Joshua Mundy. We need to play better. Who? As you say, Liverpool or Newcastle? I'm presuming Liverpool, but you've got to ask. Yeah, Canate just shielding the ball and playing it back, and then Isaac Hayden just tripped over Canate's right leg, and then as Canate's right leg then fell to the ground, Hayden's also fallen to the ground as well, and falls on it. I think he'll be okay to continue. Hopefully that made sense as well, what I just said. Yeah, he's back on his feet, Canate. What a man mountain he is, though. 6'4", arms are massive, got good pace, a great player. Canate. He's not yet got his first senior French appearance, but I'm sure that will soon come in the future. Born in Paris and played for Paris FC. Canate, that's where he came through in his youth days. So we're back underway with Chamberlain. Forward pass to Salah. 1-2 with Alexander Arnold. Henderson. Salah towards the halfway. Liverpool being forced back here by the Newcastle press. Canate. Not many options, but he does find Henderson, who's just peeled himself to the right-hand side. There's a switch on towards Robertson. Can he find him? He'll play a simple pass to Chamberlain. Then another one to Thiago. Not wanting to use the left-hand side yet, Liverpool. As they keep it within their central midfield. Newcastle sitting back and absorbing this pressure early in the second half. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain plays it across to Henderson. Salah. Henderson again. Just possession play here for Liverpool. They know patience is key. Mane Just can't quite get ahead of Fabian Schär, cleared away by Lascelles. Only as far as Matip on the halfway, and Liverpool will just come again. Like I said, it's sometimes, especially a lot in the first half, it did just seem to be an attack versus defence game, like you'd find in training. And Liverpool would have done many training sessions alongside, probably with Newcastle. They probably would have done a lot of training sessions learning how to defend in a low block and stopping teams like Liverpool breaking them down easily. Salah, another back heel towards Arnold. That one doesn't work, and Fraser's been pulled down, foul and a free kick for Newcastle. Done that a few times, Salah today. He's been quite he's been quite happy to constantly back heel it during this game. That might be his third of the game. That one didn't work, and I think it's the first one that didn't quite come off. Still 0-0, 70 minutes played. Everton still holding out. There's discussions going on here between Lascelles, Mike Dean and Joe Linton. Not quite sure what's happened. Maybe something Joe Linton said. I'm not sure. Eddie Howe's record against Liverpool isn't great. 13 games, 11 losses, and that's included the last 6 games against Liverpool. He's not won, but his one win came in the 2016-27 season. It was a home game at Bournemouth where they turned around. I think they were 2-3-1 down at one point, and they ended up winning 4-3 in the end. Watched that game nearly all the way through not long ago when they show replays of old games. As Shelvey picks up on it, Alisson, poor clearance, touches heavy. Henderson picks it up and there's a counter-attack on instead now for Liverpool. Chamberlain bursting away. We know he's got good pace. He's been brought down cynically by Brian Fraser. And the Scotsman will certainly pick up a buck in there himself. The former Bournemouth man who did score in that Eddie Howe 4-3 win against Liverpool quite a few seasons ago now. He scored and got 2 assists in that game, Ryan Fraser, that 4-3 win. The last time and only time Eddie Howe's beaten Liverpool in his managerial career. It is appearance as well, 150 for Ryan Fraser in the Premier League. 16 goals for him, all of them for Bournemouth, yet to score in the league for Newcastle after joining on a free last year. So got a point to prove Ryan Fraser in a Newcastle shirt. So it's a cross here. That's going to be put in for Liverpool from the free kick. Way too far out to shoot. It's about 40 yards out. But they could definitely curl a good cross in here. Robertson runs over it. Trent puts the ball in towards the far post where Marnie heads it on. Well gathered. And it sticks to the gloves of Dubravka. He's had a pretty decent game, the Slovakian, in the Newcastle goal. He did make 3 appearances in the Euros in the summer. The 3 games that Slovakia was involved in the group stage. Did make a horror mistake that you might have seen against Spain where he tried to tip it over his bar but instead just tipped it into his own goal. There's been a ball played in behind here for Jacob Murphy in the final third. Holds it up against Robertson. Brings St. Maximin into play on the right. He plays it inside again to Murphy. Left-footed strike on the edge of the box. He's nearly directed it into the far corner. Really not far away. Positive signs is for the Newcastle fans. I didn't think he'd go for it on his left foot because you can clearly see that's his weaker side. Just seems a bit unnatural. But he got a good shot off in the end, and if he was just able to generate a bit of curl, Alisson could have been scrambling. They do look like they could score, Newcastle. They really do. They're only 2-1 down. They're defending half decently. You know, they're staying in the game. You could say the 2 goals could have been avoided that Liverpool scored. They were both rebounds as well, so the keeper did his utmost to stop it. I don't think it's been that bad of a game, but when you're giving the ball away like that straight to Henderson, then you're not going to win. And then Schär takes him out from behind. That's a free kick for Liverpool. The man who gave the ball away to Henderson very cheaply. Similar to the... Mason Mount scores for Chelsea. Liverpool and Manchester City fans won't want to see that. But the substitute, Mason Mount, he's come off the bench. Has he? Has he started? Oh, he's started, Mason Mount. Didn't come off the bench. He started, and Chelsea have a lead. They couldn't lose much ground on Liverpool and City winning. Robertson, he crosses it past Mane. Don't think it takes a tough shots off Joe Linton. Oh, it's a corner. It does come off Joe Linton. Corner for Liverpool. So that then again puts Liverpool and Chelsea a point behind each other. Chelsea on 39, Liverpool on 40, Manchester City on 41. But it'd be really nice for Liverpool if they could get another goal here and give themselves a 2-goal cushion. You can never guarantee anything in football when you've only got a 1-goal lead. Alexander Arnold, outswinging cross. Joe Linton heads away. Salah volleys. Slice of all slices there from Salah, and it goes out for a goal kick. Nowhere near the Newcastle goal in the end. If he scored from there at the edge of the box, that would have been quite the impressive goal there from Mohamed Salah. But we know he's a man of many skills and talents, and that wasn't one of them there. That left-footed volley. And Reece James, who's in my fantasy team, got the assist for the goal as well from Mason Mount. That's good to see. Goal kick taken towards the Newcastle right, goes through everyone, and it'll be Robertson to quickly take a throw-in, throws it back to Alisson so the ball can get rolling again. Obviously did score that heroic goal against West Brom in the last seconds, Alisson, last season. On the week his father passed away, then scoring such a goal like that to pretty much get Liverpool in the Champions League, it was just something that you just love to see, and it was quite the story from Alisson. St. Maximin has it for Newcastle, holds it up and brings Hayden into play. Can't quite get it through to Fraser. Canate deals with it and Liverpool can clear. Selsby, demanding header. Shelvey pokes it up into the sky to keep it alive. Canate wins the header. Shelvey again trying to win it back for Newcastle, and he does. And he finds a composed ball to Javier Manquillo. Back at his old club, Liverpool, on loan there from Atletico Madrid in the 2014-2015 season. And it's worked it to him again. Good play from Newcastle. Oh, and he's mistouched it, gone through his legs. Jacob Murphy. A throw-in for Liverpool, really disappointing. Oxlade-Chamberlain to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Heads it forward. He's going to have to try and chase his own touch there in the end. But Salah takes over and Lascelles is hurried into a left-footed clearance out of play. He can quickly to Jordan Henderson. Santiago, about 15 yards above the halfway line in the Newcastle half. Robertson not quite being able to adventure forward, but he will lay the ball off to Henderson and get forward himself as he enters the box. Can Arnold try and put a cross in to find him? Not this time. And then Arnold looks for Chamberlain, who made a run, but he was coming back for an offside position. He wants the ball quicker, Chamberlain. There's a bit of a kerfuffle there. And it's Dubravka with the ball. Under half an hour to go, plus added on time. Newcastle are just about sticking in this game where they could probably get a equaliser if they really get an attack built. As Everton equalise, Jared Branthwaite, the 19-year-old, I think it's his first Premier League start, I want to say, has equalised at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea bottling it under some pressure, maybe? Who knows? But they are equalised there. Everton 1-1. Dubravka forward towards Jacob Murphy. Header won by Robertson. Can't be brought down by St. Maximin. It's now Matip. When will the first change be made of this game in the second half? Because we've already had one with Jamal Lewis coming off early for Matt Ritchie. He pulled up with a right hamstring issue. Mane on the right wing this time. Henderson. A bit quicker from Liverpool, knowing that a third goal would relieve some pressure. Thiago. Robertson's got a bit of room on the left, and we know he's got a wicked cross. The Scottish captain, but he plays a nice intricate ball through to Mane. He's beat the offside trap, pulls it back, looking for the return to Robertson, and then the flag goes up on Mane. Thought Liverpool would be destroying them, very surprised. I did as well, but like I said, Newcastle have been pretty resolute. They've had some pretty good chances, not being able to take them all, and then you could say Liverpool's 2 goals could have been avoided. So I really don't think it's been a negative performance from Newcastle at all. I think they've been pretty good on the whole. You know, where they're at, currently 19th in the league, joint bottom really, just got a better goal difference than Norwich, who are bottom. But they've only got 1 win this season, probably won't win today, but if they could get their 8th draw, that would match how many losses they've got, then that would be unbelievable if they could get a result at Anfield. Ball looped forward in behind, Shared deals with it away from Mane. Manquillo looks for the volley away, can't get it away. Good block off by Mane. Jota tries to backheel it back to Mane. Doesn't happen. Murphy plays it forward. St. Maximin holds it up as well. Oh, he does a brilliant job of doing it and tries to slot through Jacob Murphy behind. He's got to him. He plays it across to Fraser. Gets there ahead of Arnold. Does he get taken down from behind? Mike Dean says he got the ball. Risky defending. Again, Newcastle so close to getting in behind there. St. Maximin with some great hold-up play. Got it through to Murphy. He played a ball across. Ryan Fraser just couldn't get there ahead of the Arnold challenge. And Mike Dean said he got the ball. Mane, edge of the box. Plays it down the line to Robertson. Just about keeps it in. Clips it up towards the far post. Had a run by Jolinton. Only as far as Henderson. Good block by John Joe Shelby. Deflection falls to Matip. Plays it through the lines again to Henderson. Tries a pass himself, blocked off, just nods it back in the end to Arnold. Again, tries a bit too much of a clever pass and falls into the hands of Martin Dubravka. So close for Newcastle. Not sure if Arnold did get the ball. Here we go. Just in the box. Oh, gets the slightest of touches. Good challenge from Trent Alexander-Arnold and pretty good refereeing there from Mike Dean. Just got a nick on it. Arnold. As Mike Dean officiates his 11th game this season, yet to produce a red card and yet to referee a 0-0. And that will obviously continue with this game being 2-1. As unfortunately, Alan St. Maximin has gone down for Newcastle. Really not what they want to see. He's been very good tonight in that lone striker role. Held up the ball really well and probably should have scored in the first half when it was 1-1. Like I said, Jacob Murphy played it right along the Liverpool back line, and Trent Alexander-Arnold just got across Ryan Fraser and got the slightest of touches to the ball. Let's have a look. Yeah, just gets the ball. But there's chances here for Newcastle to equalise on the counter. Definitely. Eddie Howe asked for the penalty, but I think it was the right decision in the end. As Eddie Howe does come close now to 200 Premier League games as a manager in the Premier League. This is 196. So he is close to hitting that 200 landmark, which is pretty impressive at the age of 44. St. Maximin, as he played that ball down the line to Jacob Murphy, who then played it across to Fraser, he just picked up a bit of a knock from Canate, who put a bit of pressure on him and glided into him pretty heavily. He's limping off. I'm not sure if he'll continue, but hopefully it's just one of them where he can just run it off. As Eddie Howe is talking to another one of his former Bournemouth players, Callum Wilson, tells him to go and warm up, and he looks like he'll be coming on. He could be really dangerous for Newcastle. If they get on the counter and feed it to him, he would definitely be one who has the composure to finish. He's had a good season this season, Callum Wilson. 6 goals in the Premier League this season in 12. 2 of them for Eddie Howe. So we do continue again with Dubravka. Long ball forward. Canate heads back to where it came from. And Mane brings it down. Twists, turns. Can't get away from Fabian Schär. It's now Matt Ritchie. Ball over the top towards Ryan Fraser. Dealt with by Matip. Chested down by Henderson in his own half. And then played through with ball over the top. Can Salah bring it down? Despite pressure from Ritchie, he can. Great skill from Salah. Inside to Chamberlain. In the box towards the byline. Gets it across. Flashes it over the crossbar. And Chamberlain can't quite find a red shirt in the box. Would have been very impressive if that had crept into the near post. But it's only 2-1. Newcastle gaining confidence by the second. They can keep this by the difference between them and Liverpool as 1. Liverpool fans won't be happy with the performance, that's for sure. Thinking they should be doing better than this against a team sitting, well, joint bottom of the league on goal difference. St. Maximin is back on as well, so it looks like he'll be able to shake that little knock off. He's doing keepy-uppies here. He's done 3 keepy-uppies on the trot. And then he loses out. Mane. Foul. Yeah, foul. Strange from St. Maximin. He's a right player, isn't he? He's got bags of confidence. Henderson's praying Mane's innocence. He just flicked up to him, so he just did about 4 keepy-uppies to keep it up. And then had to try and chase back into his own half, because that's the only direction he could go, and Mike Dean deemed Mane to just trip him up as he was doing his keepy-uppies and try to work away. What a player. What a little player that St. Maximin is. 3 goals this season, and they've all come in draws and progressive draws. So he's scored in a 1-1, a 2-2, and a 3-3. this season. So if you see if he can score in a 2-2 tonight, as Ryan Fraser crosses it out for a Liverpool goal kick as Callum Wilson is stripping off, ready to go. The 29-year-old striker has a great Premier League record, by the way, for Newcastle with Premier League goals. 38 appearances for Newcastle, 18 goals. Very impressive. That comment, I hope no one read it who's not watched Spider-Man. I have known nothing about it, so I don't even know if it was a spoiler. But I've removed it, and I've removed the person. So if that was an actual spoiler, I apologise. I don't know nothing about Spider-Man, so yeah. Sorry about that if anyone read it. Looks like Liverpool are going to be making a double change as well when the changes happen. Naby Keita stripped off and Roberto Firmino. Dubravka's goal kick falls on the head of Matip, not for the first time tonight, but Jonjo Shelvey regains it for Newcastle. Fabian Schär, ball over the top, St. Maximin will give chase. Matip again heads it away as far as Ryan Fraser, who bursts onto it. He's running forward, he's been brought down by Jordan Henderson, and that'll be a free kick for Newcastle. Fuming with the decision and a yellow card given to Jordan Henderson by Mike Dean. Jordan Henderson did miss 12 of the last 13 Premier League games last season with a groin injury. Stop-start Euros in terms of getting into the team, but this season he's been back and fully fit, and the same old Jordan Henderson, who's, great engine in that Liverpool midfield, but he's given away a free kick here in an unbelievable position for maybe Jonjo Shelvey to bag a brace here at Anfield. See when the camera angle zooms out, see how far he actually is away from the goal. Let's have a look here. Alisson barking instructions. Oh, it's perfect. About 25 yards out. Shelvey over the wall, just wide. Oh, that would have been close there from Jonjo Shelvey. Alisson furious with his defence. Oh, whiskers away. You really do feel like Newcastle could nick an equaliser here. Just wide. Alisson was flying across the goal. The Newcastle fans half had hope there, half jumping off their seats. I say jumping off their seats, they're already all stood up anyway. But, kind of about to celebrate. But no. Trent Alexander-Arnold's been brought into play on the right by Thiago. Great ball. Salah. Arnold. Cross. First time. Helped on by Jota. Gets beyond Mane. That will be a Newcastle throw-in. Like I said, an Eddie Howe performance that he can be proud of and can take many positives from when analysing this game. Like I said, those two Liverpool goals could be avoided, definitely. And Jonjo Shelvey's goal in the first half was absolutely phenomenal. But two lasses? Become Geordie. 2 losses in Newcastle's last 6 games against Arsenal away and Leicester away. And they've had a couple of draws, a win against Norwich, a win against Burnley, draw to Norwich. Newcastle struggled to clear. They work it forward here. Liverpool cleared in the end. Arnold, ball through towards Salah, met by the challenge of Ritchie. Deflects towards Chamberlain, who hooks it into the box, well collected by Dubravka. He charges towards the edge of his box to try and get the counter-attack going. Sees that nothing's on, so holds the ball. Coming up towards the 90th minute in the Chelsea-Everton game, and it's still 1-1. Chelsea have had 81% possession in that game. And that tells you the moral of the story. Robertson collects it from a misplaced Newcastle pass just towards the Liverpool half. It's now Sadio Mane, 1-on-1 with Javier Manquillo, formerly of Sunderland and Liverpool. Henderson, man on a booking, brings Matip into play, who will charge forward. Looks for Salah, gets it on the turn, in the box, running at Matt Ritchie. Left foot, I think it might have deflected. I think it's a corner, is it not? Matip, good ball again into the front three. This time it's Salah. Got Ritchie stood up 1-on-1. That's definitely a deflection. Yeah, corner given by Mike Dean. So here come the changes. Mohamed Salah's come off, maybe giving him a break. He's now contributed with a goal and an assist in the last 15 games in the Premier League, which is just absolutely ridiculous from Mohamed Salah. He comes off, clearly not happy, but I don't think Salah would ever be happy when he's brought off. Roberto Firmino replaces him. So that's Salah with a goal tonight. It's his 6th goal against Newcastle in his 10 appearances against them. 6 in his last 7. 175th appearance in the Premier League as well. As Naby Keita comes on. Short corner. Robertson down the left. Just about gets on the end of it. Tackled by Allen Saint-Maximin. There'll be another corner for Liverpool. Saint-Maximin signalling to be brought off here. Just not quite being able to shrug that knockoff he got from Konate. He's always seemed a bit agitated in his movement since the foul. Robertson just swings this one in this time. Goes over Matip and I think just deflects off the knee of Firmino unexpectedly. And it's diverted wide. But yet Naby Keita has also come on. I will presume he's replaced Oxlade-Chamberlain. And then we'll see another change. Yeah, he's signalling it again. Saint-Maximin. I love the football language there is that everyone knows, Substitute. It's like when you get when you ask for the bill at a restaurant. It's like that. It's like football. You got that stretcher. Speaking our own language. Good flick onto Isaac Hayden there. Jacob Murphy can't quite get on the return pass. Asking too much of him there, Isaac Hayden. So that change will be made pretty imminent to get Saint-Maximin off. Need to get him wrapped in cotton wool. He's so important to his Newcastle team. Won't be able to see out the full 90 minutes with that knock. And he's already matched last season's goal tally in the Premier League. Got 3 goals. He's already got 3 this season. Matip bringing it out from the back. Playing it through to Mane. He's just drifted central. And he sees a ball out wide right to Arnold. Just a bit behind him, but it curls so it stays in. And Arnold can pick it up. Tries to play it through back to Mane. Intercepted by Fraser. Deflects back to the right back. Naby Keita. The man who replaced Oxlade-Chamberlain. Into the feet of Jota. Can't quite complete a 1-2. Joelinton has to deal with it. Twisting, turning, putting himself into traffic. But thankfully for him, it just deflects to Shelvey. Manquillo. Saint-Maximin just pushed off the ball very gently. Mike Dean sees nothing wrong with it. And Liverpool look to break. Firmino on the edge. Back towards Henderson. 15 minutes to go, plus any added on time. Thiago. He's definitely got a magic one that he could probably play some tricks with to open this Newcastle defence. Thiago. Just a block of light blue shirts in the way of Liverpool. It's been a really good, solid defensive performance. Henderson into Firmino. Back to goal and plays it back to Thiago. Jota also dropping deep for the ball himself. Moving away from his centre-forward role that he's got in this team. Thiago. Mane again just playing these simple passes. Try to create some space. Into Jota. Heads it down to the edge of the box. Firmino's not there. Lascelles clears again. Not very far. Straight to Matip. Saint-Maximin's trying to press, but still hobbling around. The former Nice player. Naby Keita. Alexander Arnold. Jota takes it upon himself to try and work a chance down the right-hand side. Keita. Ball's bobbling around. Falls to Jota again. Joelinton's getting a foot in. Tripped on the edge. No, says Mike Dean again. Falls to Arnold. Chips it in. Lascelles blocks it with the head. Joelinton again. Trying to clear. It's very messy here from Newcastle, but they do eventually work it away by John Joe Shelvey to Fraser. Lifts it into Saint-Maximin. Tries to lift it towards Fraser again. Konate intercepts and keeps it in. Fantastic defending from Ibrahima Konate. Getting a high five and a round of applause from Matip. He understands that defending was very key to stopping another Newcastle counter-attack with a pretty rapid Ryan Fraser on the move. But it's all 11 men behind the ball for Newcastle. Yes, they do know that they can break this Liverpool team on the counter-attack. They've done it many times this game, just not quite took all their chances, which is hard to do at Anfield. Such a menacing ground to go to. Not many teams win here, especially in the Premier League. Not lost since April 2017. As we get a corner for Liverpool. Centre diagonal ball towards Robertson. Headed behind by Javier Manquillo. And finally, Allan Saint-Maximin will just hobble off the pitch after putting in a soldier-like performance up there on his own up front, holding it up, bringing others into play. Just hoping for Newcastle fans that that is not a long-term injury and that is just one that he can't run off today and he's back for them in their next game, which they'll need him for against Manchester City at St James's Park. Just took a large knock off Canate, and that's going to hurt anyone the size of that French central defender. Alexander Arnold over it. It's going to be an in-swinger. I don't think we've had an in-swinger so far this game. They've usually been the out-swingers from Trent, Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. Here we go, swung in. Good header away from Joe Linton. Straight back, though, to the original taker of Alexander-Arnold. Finds Thiago on the angle. Goes across to Keita. He's going to run. He's going to strike it himself, about 10 yards wide. Shocking effort in the end, unfortunately, for the Guinean. Naby Keita. No minutes in his last 6 Premier League games. Now he's got off the bench and onto the pitch. Naby Keita. He's had 14 separate injuries at Liverpool. Naby Keita. Never really been able to, stamp his authority in this team. As the Newcastle owner, again, he's like at every game. You've got to give it to him. Alongside the woman who looks like, doesn't even look like an actual person. She looks like a character, an animated character. It's weird. But yeah, the new owner. Many, many games. Definitely all the home ones. That's for sure. I've definitely seen him at all the home ones. But yeah, with his money, many, many rumours you would have read about. I've got some here. Gini Wijnaldum could be returning. Unhappy at PSG. That would be one hell of a loan signing if they could get Wijnaldum back. Nicolas Pepe from Arsenal. Ake from City. Dean Henderson. Jesse Lingard. Wesley Fofana. Aaron Ramsey. Many, many players they can bring in. Probably more than that linked, but they're the ones I found. Thought should be written down a lot from the Premier League, which would be hard to get. Short pass. Keita picks it up. Mane's making a running behind. Javi Manquillo with an important touch. Good save by Dubravka as it was deflected towards his goal. Good joint defending there from Manquillo and Dubravka to stop Mane from getting in behind and getting his goal for this game. And Newcastle do clear down the right channel up towards Callum Wilson, who's now on the pitch. Can't quite keep it between him and Joe Linton. Matip, fierce pass into Jota. Plays it through towards Firmino. Pulls it across towards Mane. It deflects to Diogo Jota. Great block. And Newcastle survive again. I'm not sure if it came off Dubravka or a Newcastle defender. As he sends it down the right channel, Joe Linton gets on it. He needs to hold it up. Tries to get inside of Canate. Asking too much of himself. Play back to Alisson. And Newcastle, with 10 minutes to go, still fancy their chances on the break. Liverpool nearly scoring at one end. Newcastle getting through close at the other. Alisson. Over it goes to Ibrahima Kanate. And back to Alisson again. Yeah, definitely do the homework, that's for sure. Definitely do the homework. Like I said, Manquillo deals with it again against Mane. He's had a decent game, Manquillo, against Mane. Kept him pretty quiet. As Trent keeps in a poor clearance from Dubravka. Keita. Across to Henderson, then once more to Thiago as they work it towards the left-hand side here. Keita looks for a 1-2 with Thiago, well cut out by Lascelles. They're trying to play out from the back here, Newcastle, trying a bit too hard. Falls to Henderson. Alexander-Arnold lays it back into Henderson, who can put a first-time cross in as it curls towards Firmino at the far post. Goes beyond him, and Jacob Murphy in the right-back area can look to try and clear. Tries to chop past Firmino, tackled, and a touch goes out of play for a goal kick for Newcastle United. Like I said, if you are new, please like and subscribe over the Christmas and the festive period, the New Year. I'll be doing loads more commentaries as I'm off college, so make sure you like, subscribe. Hopefully, if the games go ahead, fingers crossed. And at full time, it did end. Chelsea 1, Everton 1. Big stint for them in the title race. They stay on 37 points. If Liverpool keep their lead, they'll go 3 points above Chelsea, and City remain 4 points above Thomas Tuchel's men. Big dropping of points there from Chelsea. They nearly dropped points against Leeds thanks to a 94th minute penalty. They just scraped 3 points in that one. Lost recently to West Ham at 3-2, just like Liverpool did a month or so ago. But Jurgen Klopp will know this is not good enough from his team. And you'll understand that Newcastle put up a great fight. It's still not over. 83rd minute now. Robertson thrown in his own half. Short to Firmino, gets the return. Then to Firmino again, holds it up against Isaac Hayden. Pokes the ball out for another Liverpool throw-in. Goes a bit longer this time towards Mane. Doesn't get it towards him. Lascelles clears up towards Callum Wilson. Dealt with by Konate in the end. And can be picked up by Alisson. Rolls out to Robertson. They've got them pretty compact in their own half here, Newcastle, Liverpool, but they do break away and they get into the Newcastle half with Firmino, finding the on-rushing Robertson, gets beyond Jacob Murphy, pulls it back to the edge of the box to K2, can't control it. And it can be worked away by Matt Ritchie and Fraser, but they do lose out in the end. Keita, can he recover from what he lost just before? Jota, Mane, swings for it, kicks there in the end. Can be dealt with by Newcastle as far as Thiago. Not quite been Mane's night, has it there? Just completely swinging air. Does have the record, though, for the quickest hat-trick. Mane, 176 seconds it took for him to get a hat-trick against Aston Villa in May of 2015. As he's on the ball here, touches it into Keita, slots it through towards Jota. Great interception by Ritchie, and a shot from afar. Well held by Dubravka. Naby Keita, I think saw Dubravka on his line, but he plucked it out of the air, the goalkeeper, who's had a great night tonight. Like many of the Newcastle players, but these things haven't gone their way in the grand scheme of the game. Keita stopped in his tracks by Hayden. What a slide challenge by the former Arsenal man. Does lose it though to Henderson, but did well to stop an on-rushing Keita, who did look very positive there with the movements he was making forward. Firmino worked through to Keita. Can they get it through the block of Newcastle shirts? No, they can't. Poked away in the end. To Shelvey on the edge of the box. Sees a switch on. Gets into the Liverpool half. Wilson, what a touch, brings it down. Matip's behind him, pressuring him. It's going to be a foul on the halfway. Well won by Callum Wilson. A little bit of afters, but nothing to really talk about. Matip just wasn't letting Wilson go. Oh, who's done that? Is that Shelvey trying to catch out Alisson off his line, or is it Fraser? It might be Fraser. Trying to catch Alisson off his line. He's had a shot from where the free kick was. He's just never going to score. Real waste, that. Firmino, again, getting in between those lines. Tackled by Hayden. Nope. Illegally, says Mike Dean, and I think he knows it. Don't think he got the ball. Yellow card. Isaac Hayden, he knows it. No complaints. Try to just get around Firmino like he got around Keita. Yeah, completely missed the ball. Clip Firmino. Easy yellow. Mike Dean in a good view to give it. But I did mention before, Isaac Hayden, former Arsenal man, who was there for 8 years. Isaac Hayden, 2008 to 2016 when he left for Newcastle. Did make 2 appearances for Newcastle in 2013 and one in 2014 in the League Cup action. But Joe Willock will come on, who got the 95th minute equaliser at this ground last year in the season. To make it 1-1 as Trent shoots from afar. It's an absolute rocket from Trent Alexander-Arnold. And despite all the efforts from Newcastle, Liverpool break through with a third. They'll be absolutely devastated, the travelling fans. But when you have constant pressure throughout the entire game, you are eventually going to break. Unbelievable strike from November. Player of the month, Trent Alexander-Arnold. You forget this man is only as young as 23. And on the right foot, from about 25 yards out, lets off an absolute rocket into the top left corner. It was so powerful, Dubravka didn't even get a single touch on the ball. Mike Dean just about got out the way himself. Oh, he did just get slight fingertips to it, Dubravka. But it didn't really push the ball into the corner. It kind of just went right through his hand. Just really, the touch on his hand just really pushed his hand back instead of tipping it anywhere. And Liverpool have got their third goal that they've desperately needed. They've been under pressure for a lot of the game. Despite having a lot of the ball and having the chances, whenever they've lost it, Newcastle have looked half dangerous when going forward. Jota gets it on the right here. Looks for a cross. That would be a double inflicted wound if Liverpool score again, but the cross is dealt with in the end. What a goal from Alexander-Arnold. That was like De Bruyne against Leeds, that goal. That's exactly what I'd say it was like. As Ryan Fraser was the one replaced by Joe Willock before the goal. It's the 88th minute. It doesn't look like any comeback is now impossible for Newcastle. Trent Alexander-Arnold did get a goal away in Liverpool's last loss of the season, and only loss of this season. That was against West Ham away. He scored a lovely free kick. The 2 wonder goals this season as Jota's been played through by Firmino on the far right-hand side. Gets it inside to Keita on the edge. Enters the box, tries to poke it through. Block shot first time. Jonjo Shelvey tries to clear. Fails again. Henderson. Thiago. They're almost playing with the Newcastle defence now, and he looks for a ball that's a little bit too clever. Mane wasn't on the same wavelength. And he goes out for a goal kick for Newcastle. Thank you. Everyone should do that. Everyone should check the commentaries out over Christmas because they will be coming. Like I said, just hopefully if the games go ahead. With COVID about and all that. What a goal from Trent Alexander-Arnold. That is one hell of a finish. Eddie Howe will be absolutely devastated because he knows he's put Liverpool through the paces tonight. He knows his team has given them a game. And Trent Alexander-Arnold is now in double figures in his Premier League career for goals. That's his 10th goal in his Premier League career. 40 assists as well as James Milner comes on to replace Thiago. Missed quite a bit of October, Thiago, with an injury, but he's now pretty much a starter every game for Liverpool, and Milner will take his space. His 5th substitute appearance on the bounce now for James Milner, who won the Premier League in 2011-2012 with that Aguero goal, sad to hear his retirement with Manchester City, and then won it in the 2019-2020 season with Liverpool. As Alisson clears it forward, we're close to the 90th minute. Lascelles heads forward to the halfway, Richie helps on. As far as Matip, who I think's had a very strong game alongside Canate to deal with the constant counter-attacks that Newcastle have been able to compile at Anfield. Fabian Schär for Newcastle, forced back to his keeper in his box, has to clear it first time. 4 minutes of added on time, so when the timer gets to 49, that's when we've played the minimum of added on time. As Matip bullies Joelinton off the ball, cleared away by Trent in their own half here. Henderson has a bit of room to then allow a corridor through for Trent. In the Newcastle half, looks for the switch through to Mane. What a ball. Brings it down. Tries to chop onto his right foot, but closed down pretty quickly there from Jacob Murphy, who clears down the right channel himself, but he'll only find Andy Robertson, the left back. Did get assists in both of Liverpool's wins in that title winning season for Liverpool in the 2019-2020 season. As Robertson has clocked up 3 assists in his last 4 Premier League games. Trent Alexander-Arnold gets man of the match. Don't think there's really been one really big standout performance for Liverpool, so I would give it Trent Alexander-Arnold, mainly for his goal. It's been pretty impressive, hasn't it? His goal. And here he is, Robertson. Milner, down the line to Mane. We'll get there ahead of Javier Manquillo in the final third. Robertson's making a run down the byline. He finds him, pulls it back, deflects off Lascelles to Sadio Mane. His shot deflects all the way over, across to the opposite side to Arnold. Takes a touch, left foot, clips it towards the far post where Henderson tried to keep it alive. Headed away by Jacob Murphy. Henderson on the edge. He's got Robertson in support, far left. Uses him. And goes back to James Milner. Who'll get another 4 or 5 minutes in the tank. James Milner now at the age of 35. 20th appearance against his former club, Newcastle. He's not scored against Newcastle, his former club. A club that he was at from 2004 to 2008. Firmino, pressured by Joelinton, works away from him, but his passes away from Jota. Joe Willock in the midfield. Won't quite have the story he got last season at this ground where he got a 95th minute equaliser. Jacob Murphy looking down the channel for Callum Wilson. Canate will get there ahead of him and deal with it smoothly and play it back to Alisson, met by a warm round of applause by the Anfield faithful, who know they've got one hell of a centre-back in the ranks for when the likes of Matip moves on, and even Van Dijk, who's obviously not that young anymore. I think he's at the age of 30, the Dutchman. Trent Alexander-Arnold heads it inside towards Naby Keita on the halfway, cut out by Willock. Throwing for Liverpool. We've got a minute and 10 to go. And here's Arnold's goal again. Just on the left-hand side of the box, on the angle. that is the definition of a bow and arrow. He's released the arrow and it is just not stopped travelling until it hit that top left corner. Brilliant goal from the academy graduate. Made Premier League debut now at the age of 18, so he's been in the league for about 5 years and easily one of the best right backs in the league, easily the world. You know, England's so blessed with full backs, and he doesn't even get in. That says a lot. Ritchie. Joe Willock looks for a back heel, deflects off Arnold for a throw-in for Ritchie, tries to take it quickly. In towards Callum Wilson, back to goal, pressured by Canate, does release. Joelinton, now left to Ritchie, plays a ball around the corner to Callum Wilson, can't take a successful control, loses out, and Liverpool can play out. 10 seconds to go. Looks like that'll be Newcastle's last chance as Newcastle try and defend Liverpool's last. They've got it to Mane up the field. Good recovery challenge from Jacob Murphy to take the ball away from Mane. We've hit the 94th minute. Mike Dean has the whistle at his lips. He blows the whistle. And that is a win for Liverpool. Wasn't standard procedure for Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp's men. In the end, it was harder than probably what they thought. Eddie Howe's men put up a great battle at Anfield tonight. They took an early lead in the 7th minute thanks to John Joe Shelby's wicked right-footed strike into the bottom corner. Hit the side nettings of the goal. That's how accurate it was. But then from then, and pretty much throughout the whole game, even before the John Joe Shelby goal, it was all Liverpool attack versus defence. 2 quick-fire goals in 4 minutes from Diogo Jota and Mohamed Salah within the 25th minute. From the 21st and the 25th minute. One was controversial. Jota scored while there was a man down in the box for Newcastle holding his head. In the end, replays did show he was holding his head just to try and get the game stopped to relieve Newcastle pressure. And then Salah scored a rebound from a Mane shot in the 25th. From there, Newcastle had plenty of chances. St. Maximum, even at 1-1, had a chance where he's bared down on goal. They had some counter-attacks during the game. They just didn't quite manifest into a goal to get them a point at Anfield, which would have been historic for them, and really get their movement under Eddie Howe and their survival race underway. Unfortunately, their chances of any kind of equaliser was killed thanks to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who scored in the 87th minute. Player of the month for November, scored an absolute cracker. He may even win goal of the month for December, because I don't think you'll find many as good as that. Definitely on par with De Bruyne's against Leeds on Tuesday night. And with a bit of sweat, Liverpool just about got beyond Newcastle. And Newcastle stay 19th, joint bottom with Norwich. And Liverpool stay second and gaining their lead on Chelsea in third by 3 points as they drew to Everton today. And they've closed the gap to Manchester City to 1 point once again. And they have a 4 better goal difference than their forever present rivals, Manchester City. So that'll be it for tonight's commentary. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you are new. There'll be plenty of commentaries coming up within the next few weeks, that is for sure. So make sure you check the channel, put notifications on, follow the Instagram in the description as well if you want updates of when I am going to be doing a commentary. Links in the description to the Mental Health Matters NHS page if you want any help. It shows you charities and voluntary services that you can go on, mental health helplines. You can see in the top right corner there, it's okay to not be okay, Mental Health Matters. So if you've got any problems, link in the description. And I've put the No Room for Racism and Black Lives Matter links as well if you want to educate yourself more on those topics. So yeah, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you're new. And Liverpool just about scraped through past Newcastle, who are showing the fighting spirit they need under Eddie Howe. But will they have enough to survive in this Premier League season?